Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rich. Today I want to talk about this idea that to win the lottery, you need to play the lottery. Now, before you assume this is actually about the lottery, this is about a metaphor to do with the lottery being your music career, and specifically winning a license deal or going viral or landing a big sync or landing a big job, a scoring job that is. That's the lottery. Now, here's the story. Imagine you're walking around and you're thinking to yourself, I want to win the lottery. You walk past a shop that sells lottery tickets and you go, man, I wish I could just win that lottery. But you don't actually take the time to go in there and buy a lottery ticket. You just go home and think to yourself, gosh, I wish I could win that lottery. If only I had the money from that lottery win, I could buy all this house. But you're not actually taking part in the lottery. So there's no chance that you're going to win that money unless you go into that shop and you buy a lottery ticket. Now, in our analogy, the lottery ticket here is a piece of music. Now, I'm going to put this in the story of my career. I am a composer by trade. I've been working in the production music and trailer music and advertising world for about 15 years. Well, actually, it's about 17 years, but for over 15 years. So I've been doing it a long time. And the way it works is you'd write a piece of music, it would get signed to either a library, a publisher, or a consultancy, or whoever. Someone would sign and they would start pitching it to their clients. That's my one lottery ticket. I've written one piece of music, it got signed to one publisher, and they have that lottery ticket sat in their company. And the more pieces of music I write for these companies, the more chances I have that it's going to be used on TV, it's going to be used on radio, going to be used on advertising, going to be used on film trailers, video games, whatever. The more chances I have are made by having more music in those companies. Now, the same can be said for the current content situation, which is the more pieces of content you have out there, the more you are increasing your chances of one of them, what you would call popping off, which I think is quite a funny thing to say, because when I was a kid, I used to say popping off meant farting. So, hey. Anyway, so for instance, the more pieces of music you have out there, the more chances you have of people finding that music. That's not to say that producing a ton of music is going to mean and guarantee you're going to win the lottery, to say, but it increases your chances. So why wouldn't you take the time to produce more music and more content to increase your chances? Because the other thing is here, what happens if you've been producing a track a day for a year and nothing happens? For 365 days, nothing happens. You get like a couple hundred views on each track, which is, to be fair, kind of nice. There's still a couple hundred people, which in a room is a lot of people. But with regard to the money you would receive for a couple of hundred people, it would be pennies. Let's say you've done 365 days of producing daily music, but on the 366th day, one of those tracks pops off and goes viral. What you now have is you now have 365 other tracks for those listeners to binge. And that is so important, because I know, for instance, when I found a new artist that I like to listen to, the first thing I will do is, if I like one of the tracks, I go straight to the artist profile, whatever platform that is, whether that's YouTube or iTunes or Spotify, or Apple Music or Spotify, whichever. I'll go straight to that artist. YouTube, I'll see if they've got a channel, and I will then start to listen to the rest of it. And if it's equal quality or similar vibe to everything else, then I'm immediately a fan. And that's what you've got to do. You have to play the lottery to win the lottery. You have to produce the music for the chance to be given to you for one of those tracks to go off and for you to win that music lottery. And the same applies with production music. The more music you have in your production music catalogue, the more chances you have of that stuff being used on TV. The same with trailer music. The more stuff you have out there with trailer music companies, the more chances you have for that stuff to be used. It's incredibly simple, but what that means is that you might face a lengthy period of time where nothing happens. And that sucks. It really does suck. You know, I mean, I had points where I would go for a year, maybe more, where nothing would happen. I wouldn't get any placements or anything like that. I mean, admittedly, that was a long time ago, and the same now. You know, I could produce some tracks for one of my projects and it have no listeners for months and months. But you think of it like the lottery. You go, well, if I stop playing the lottery, then there's no chance I'm going to win. Same with your music stuff. If I stop producing music, I'm reducing the chance I'm going to win. And reducing the chance of building fans and growing your business and growing your portfolio. So I want you to think of this next time you sit there and just think, oh, I wish I could land a big trailer or a big placement. The next time you think that stuff, go write some music and share that music with the world. That is the important part. You have to share it with the world, whether that's signing it to a library, putting it on YouTube, putting it on Spotify. It has to be shared. Put it on Bandcamp, sending it out on your email list. Whatever it is, the sharing is part of the buying the lottery ticket. Write the music, share it. There's your lottery ticket. All right, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.